Good morning, travelers. Tara here, HiddenLotus Tarot, and I'm going to be coming to you today with an elemental reading for earth signs. So this will be for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This will be for the time frame of February 26th, today, our new moon eclipse, to March 12th, which will be our full moon in Virgo. So if you have a Virgo moon, this is going to be a time for you to kind of work on ending something or starting something new, however, whatever's going on for you. I do caution that because we are in the eclipse, at the height of the eclipse today, that if you have any decisions or things that you really want to do, even conversations, you may want to hold off for the next 3 days because eclipses always conceal things. They never reveal. Now, if you don't know where your planets are or what you have, you can come over to my website and I have a membership option there. You can purchase 30 days for $7, 6 months for $28, which is a recurring membership, and then 365-day access for $50. That is recurring. And over on the site, what you get for that membership option, you get 2 free birth charts, so you're able to create one yourself, and then you get a personalized chart from me, secondary. We use the secondary chart to do predictive astrology. This is something that I'm starting. It's new, so if you're interested, you can come over and join. There is an astrology gallery, so there are videos there on astrology. This is where I post the individual monthly signs tarot readings. So there's a tarot gallery, and there's also a metaphysical gallery. I don't have any videos up on that yet, but I'm working on it. There's also articles and posts, things of that nature. So, you know, 2 free birth charts. Come on over. So I did some pre-shuffling and no cards came out for earth signs. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these a little bit more. Again, this is a general reading, so the messages will not resonate with everyone. Please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. I do have Casanova here with me today. I have not read with Casanova in quite some time. I have the La Vida Sibillas, and I also have the Angel Answer cards. And so what I do is I, at the end of the spread, I will, if it was not, you know, I try to pull an Angel Answer card to give you perhaps comfort, advice, an answer to a question that was not answered for you within the spread, or perhaps a little bit of direction on what either you should or you should not do. New subscribers to the channel, thank you so much. Old subscribers, thank you for sticking with me. Those of you who have come over and joined me on the membership option, thank you guys so very much. Those of you in the Facebook group, thank you so much for your patience. You guys know I have been working like a Hebrew slave. I was hoping to get my tarot classes up, you know, and posted for the month of March. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm looking at April. I think I'm going to hold off on Akashic Records readings, although I will be posting up some videos about that in the Metaphysical Gallery, as well as etheric cord cutting, things on karma, soulmates, twin flames, videos on that, a few explanations. But I really need to focus on getting my classes put up. So that's going to be my next project, okay? So you guys hang with me there. I'm working on it. So if you would like to purchase a personal reading, in order for you to gain any insight into your situation, does require a personal reading. And I ask before that you submit any payment or booking form, and you do have to do both of those. There's 2 separate steps, and I'm sorry about that. But the booking form is right under, typically right underneath the PayPal button. So, you know, fill that out first if you want, click send, and then make the payment. I don't know how it works. Don't hit the back button that says go back when you hit the form. That's some kind of weird thing that came with that form, and I can't get rid of it. You just simply fill it out, click it, and send it. Don't hit the back button, okay? I do receive those, so you don't have to send me a secondary email. That's why I say before you do that, please read the tab that says important information on booking, because that's going to explain everything to you. How I conduct the readings, what information I need. For personal video readings, everything you need to know is there on that page. So let's get started with the reading. Again, this is Elemental Earth for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the time frame of February 26th, today, to March 12th, the full moon in Virgo. And we got Mercury's going to be retrograding, I think. No? Yeah, it's coming up again, I think in April. That's why I got to get to work on my classes. Oh my God. All right, here we go. 9 cards down. The Lovers. The 3 of Coins. The King of Wands. Wow. The 3 of Swords. The King of Swords. Uh-oh. Somebody getting busy. The 2 of Wands. So I have 2 3s here. The 6 of Swords. This card just came out in the same exact position for the water signs. The Page of Wands. And the 10 of Wands. So the 10s are an end of some kind of cycle going on here. Underneath the deck, I have the Knight of Coins. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the tarot, what I have, it's broken into 2 groups, divided into 2 groups. It is the major arcana. They are numbered from 0 to 21. There's 22 cards, but they're numbered from 0 to 21. The 0 card is not counted, but it's still 22 cards. And these cards are our spiritual lessons and our life lessons, okay, and the higher meaning of things. And the other half, the other group of the cards are known as the pip cards, and they are numbered from 1 to 10. Ones being the aces. And they also, the pip cards include our court cards. King of Wands, King of Swords, and then I have these 2 knights. Knight of Wands and the Knight of Coins here, okay? Then we have the suits. So I have the coins, which represent finances, but they also represent the material plane, you know, those food, money, sex, clothes, drink, sight, smell, taste, feel. And they also represent the actual doing of something. And then I have the wands. And the wands are traditionally associated with work. But I look at the wands sort of like having an emotional component to them, because that's your motivating factor. You need fire in order to get something done. Okay, you got to be motivated in order to achieve things and to achieve your goals and move ahead. Then I have the swords, and swords represent thoughts, belief, perception, ideas, communications, and also perhaps imagination. The communications is not about communications just with others, but also that important communication of self-talk. Okay? I don't have any cups here. I don't have any cups here. Does this mean that this is not a relationship about love? No. But there is definitely some emotions missing here. Now, I have one major arcana card, and this is the Lovers. Now, I want you to take a look at that couple. If you were down on the street, it just looks like 2 people hugging. But from our vantage point, we see that there is a lot more going on than that. So this can sometimes be about the appearance of things, okay? But traditionally, the Lover speaks to a choice, head over heart. If you have been single, sometimes I will see this card show up to say that there could be someone new coming into your life. But at the same time, in looking at these cards, there's another story here. Now, the way they're read, past, present, future, past, present, future, and then the interplay of the cards. And our focus is this King of Swords. And this is about, this would represent an air sign individual. And if not an individual, then this is the energy. Okay? I'm going to say that about both of these, the king and that applies to both. Sometimes we will have 2 separate figures show up. This could be about the 2 different sides of yourself. It can literally be 2 different people. It could be about a person and a situation. The cards are multidimensional and they speak on many different levels at the same time. The King of Swords is about power and charisma, but it is also someone who can be, in effect, rather maybe perhaps tired of being in charge of something. You can see he is rather slumped down in his chair there. And he is also at the ready. Now his face is covered. And so to me, in this particular deck, the idea that people are wearing masks means that there's something that hasn't been revealed, or someone may be hiding a particular aspect of themselves or about a situation. It is definitely about not revealing the true face, okay, and whatever shape that means for you. And so what I'm looking at across the top, and whether this is heterosexual or same-sex couple, this will apply. We're looking at perhaps maybe someone did come in new for some of you, and this would be perhaps a fire sign male. He would be Aries, Leo, and or Sagittarian. If he is not of that particular sign, then this is going to indicate someone who may be good-natured, who may be somewhat like a benefactor or does that kind of work. He could be an entrepreneur, somebody who works from home. Maybe the person travels a lot. That's that Sagittarian energy. And I can see that with the Three of Coins. The Three of Coins is about, I think that this particular king has come in, and perhaps if you have interacted with him, that he's been someone who's brought a bit of novelty and fun into your life, which is great. Everybody needs that. This says that, you know, for lack of better terms, that Casanova didn't mind, you know, going down, slumming to the other side of town or hanging out with the prostitutes. I'm not saying that that's the kind of person that this is. I don't know. That may fit your story. But basically it is about someone who perhaps has a different idea of what fun is all about, but that can bring some kind of freshness and novelty into your life. Now this Three of Swords, it's quite interesting because in this deck, the Three of Swords speaks to someone who feels isolated, and that in a sense, no matter where they look, there's a sense of decay, that perhaps that there's a loneliness here. And I can see here, perhaps maybe for some of you, there was a choice that had to be made. Perhaps you had to, I don't know, move away from someone, either physically move away. This card can be about travel or travel in the mind, swords. So if this is not physically moving away from someone, this is about psychologically moving away from a situation. Obviously, there was a choice between head and heart here. But now I have this King of Swords, and he kind of stands out to me the most, because what I feel is that there's a block here. There's a block. And this king is saying, hey, come on, let's just do this. Let's go out and have fun, and let's not make it very, very serious. Twos are about the start of something, okay? This is play for the sake of play, enjoyment for the sake of enjoyment. But again, I see someone moving away here. Moving away because there's a block here. And that's what this King of Swords is telling me. So this is more of an energy than it is a person. Although for some of you, it could be a choice between two people, and one of these people is blocking you from having fun with this person. Okay? Or maybe this person said, no, I can't do that until you get rid of that person. So I'm going to look at that. But then we see this knight, and the knight represents, they bring messages and they bring news. But in this deck, this knight is the defender of honor. He also can be an indication of someone who will show up quite suddenly and then leave quite suddenly. Okay? But I look at this as a situation, and I'm not quite sure what this row, particularly with these two cards, are trying to tell me. Like, we had to either move away physically because a situation came up where we are required to work. You see that guy he's gambling. He's actually taking a gamble. But he has all of these people looking over him. Are these people watching him win or lose? Or do they also have some kind of stake in whatever game this guy's playing? Okay. This card can be about burdens. It could be success. It could be stress. It could be having a lot of people depend upon you. And so whatever gamble or risk that you take could have great consequences. The choice to, I think someone made the choice to kind of distance themselves from this. Hey, let's just have fun with this. So this King of Wands says, well, okay, if you want to stay isolated, you know, then I'm going to just go on over here and do whatever it is I have to do. And that is the risk that he is willing to take. Now, this this Knight of Coins is about a message that's coming back. It's some message coming in. Now, a lot of times when this card shows up, this is about a message that you've been waiting for a long time, and it's usually a message of good news. Why? There's the Pentacle there, and it's sort of like being offered the Ace of Coins. This is a strange, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 Wands cards, 1, 2, 3 Swords cards, a Coins card, excuse me, and a Major Arcana. So in one respect, because it's a profusion of wands, it's more heavily weighted towards the wands. For me, this is about the drive, the ambition, and the desire is more prominent than the actual doing of something. I'm kind of at a loss for what this is telling me. So I'm going to go directly to the Sibillas here. And I'm going to first take a look at this King of Swords here. Like the cards are saying, this diagonal, maybe, you know, with this person, it's going to be work, and I'm doing it for the sake because I have to. There's obligations there. And this is saying, you know, come on, let's just go have fun. Take a risk. I don't know. This is kind of an odd spread. It's not very clear to me what the story is here. So please don't email me telling me your version of what the story is. Okay, if you understand this, then that's what you need to know. All right, again, that card comes out. That card has been coming. It has come out for every single elemental thus far. Constrained. Now, I don't know if this is eclipse energy, like there's something that has been holding people back in some way, shape, or form. And now it's kind of saying that maybe with the eclipse that something's going to move. And then I have Bambino. Okay. And this is to me not a spread that is involving children and familial things. But so this represents something new. Okay. A beginning, something new, something small. But then I have Alegría, family and friends. So in one respect, it is kind of speaking like maybe someone is constrained by perhaps their family, their friends, or there's a new restraint that is coming, a new block that has come surrounding family or friends. It could be maybe that there might be a new baby on the way. I mean, that's really not what that's saying to me, but, you know, anything's possible in this. I think the key to this spread is this Two of Wands here. I think that's the key. Maybe this row is saying, you know, you've been having your fun, and now the news doesn't come to say, okay, that's enough of that. Okay, you got to get back to real life here. I don't know. It's like I said, it's just kind of odd. It's not a real cohesive kind of a story. I'm sure somebody out there understands this. I have learned a long time ago that I don't need to know what the story is. I just have to present you the messages as they come. But, you know, as a reader, I always feel as though I'm missing something if I can't really myself get a deeper understanding of what's happening here. So let's see. Don't mean I need to know. There is the sacerdote, the priest, or about having faith, or the single man. Okay, now falling up underneath this King of Wands here. Now, this King of Swords would be an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius person. Okay, and if not that, it is definitely associated with this energy of the Aquarian eclipses that we're having. Today we have a eclipse, is it annular solar? So it's the sun at 8 degrees Pisces opposed to the moon at 8 degrees Pisces. But the eclipses all this year will be running across the Aquarius-Leo axis. Well, yes, I think that this, perhaps this King of Wands is single, and there is this Lamante, female lover. And here is the Melancholia. This is, I think, someone perhaps being a little sad, or, excuse me, or a little depressed over this situation, which, if that's, you know, I don't even know what it is, but I guess it could be depressing. If I knew really what I was looking at, I could be like, yes, you know, I would understand that, but I kind of don't have an idea. Maybe this is just about the disappointment that they weren't able to engage in whatever manner that they wanted to engage in this particular situation. Now, let me take a look. I don't even know what to look at next. See, because if I look at it down this row, that's what that's saying, that the person is a little disappointed that they weren't able to engage in the way that they wanted to. You know, they wanted to maybe go out and show you a good time or something. But that's a risk. We see that's a gamble. And in this deck, Casanova, like, he wasn't no great gambler. He lost all the time. You know, he had to depend upon family and friends sometimes to, you know, give him a place to stay. He was known as the great lover, so a lot of times his aid would come from women. And maybe that's speaking to the character of this particular person. Maybe this is somebody who has a history of doing those kind of things. And perhaps maybe that is why you chose to forego any relationship or association with this individual. All right. You know what I want to look at is that Six of Swords. That's what I want to look at. Let's take a look at that. Because this is definitely some kind of moving away from a situation. Oh, well, that would make sense now. Well, remember I said this like it was a move? Maybe some of you moved, actually did move. There's the house, casa. And you moved because maybe you thought that would help the situation. Okay. There's the Dottore. He's a professional, but he's also someone who is in a helping capacity. And so maybe because these are swords, the way we think, maybe we thought if we just moved away or go away from this person or this situation, that's really going to help us. But then here comes the desperate jealousy. That is excessive attachment to a situation. I don't know, maybe some of you might have a stalker individual who won't go away and leave you alone. I don't know. And maybe you moved away, but this says that there's, I think there could be a return of either this situation, because I do see the Knights sometimes as a situation and not necessarily as a person. So maybe this could be a situation you moved away, but guess what? It's going to come around again. There's the news of it. See? And it's going to require you to take some kind of risk, to take some kind of gamble on how that plays out for you. Let me take a look. I just want to see what this Knight of Coins is trying to tell us. This still isn't telling me exactly what I want to know, but it's a slight emergence of the story. Whatever this is, that's a 10. And 10s are the end of it. Whatever this is the end of it. And maybe that's what the news is about. Maybe that's what the news is about. That finally you can kind of put that to rest. See how hangdog tired the knight and the horse look? Like you finally get the news that this crap is over, whatever this is. I don't think I need to read on that. That's what's... I'm not going to read on that knight now. What I'm going to read on is this 3 of Coins. No, it's the 3 of Swords. I think that's the key. That's the key. Because this way it's still kind of telling the same story. It's a disappointment for this king. But maybe it's something that the person was willing to take a risk for. Alright, and then we're going to close this reading down and we're going to pull an angel answer card. Conversations. Yeah. The messaggere, news from far away. That doesn't say whether it's good news or that it's bad news. The implication is that it was news that was not either well received or that hurt in some way. Again, the Dinati. That keeps coming up. And I don't know why the Dinati keeps coming. It's came up in all three, the past 2 elementals for both fire and water, as has this Prigione has come up in all 3 of the readings. So I'm not exactly sure if what the Dinati is. I don't think this is speaking to money. Although, because I have this profusion of wands, this could be something to do with a work endeavor or some kind of project. But I'm kind of looking at the concept of a Dinati, a safe is where you keep things. Yeah? It's where you place your valuables. It's where you hold something that you want to protect. But it's 3 swords and someone feeling isolated over this. Some news that has come in. See, this was pleasant conversation. It starts out pleasantly. And then something comes in from afar. Some kind of news. Maybe it is something to do with money. Whatever it is, it has left somebody feeling very, very isolated and like the world is crumbling around them. Well, that's interesting. Maybe this is, you know, a way, a news that's going to come in and help to remedy that situation or mitigate or alleviate it in some way. All right. So, earth signs. I'm going to now take a angel answer card. So for whatever was not, if your question was not answered in that particular spread, I would like for you to formulate your question in your mind. Perhaps the angel answer card, and I will draw one of these, will either give you the answer, provide you with some comfort and solace if you need, or perhaps point you in the direction of where you should go or perhaps should not go. Okay? Wow, that's interesting. One card. Formulate that in your mind, please. One card. That question, one card. I want to put another good shuffle on this one more time. One more rifle. Here we go. It just says you're ready. And maybe that's why that Knight of Pentacles is coming in to the spread. He's writing in. It says you're ready, I guess. Yeah, for whatever's coming. I don't know. Have to get a personal reading for that. So I do hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste. Don't forget the individuals are over on the website, but that's premium content. So thank you. Bye-bye. Earth signs, that reading kind of perplexed me to such an extent that I forgot to give you the numerology breakdown on that. So you had 2 3s, and it is typically significant when you have a repeater number in there. Not always, but let me give you one interpretation of the 2 3s. Okay. It can tell of unexpected good luck. Well, it did. And in the 10 of Wands, we saw that person gambling, and we saw that news coming in with that page, long time in coming. And then the other interpretation of that is 2 3s. One second. 2 3s. It says one of you are craving more change and excitement. And that could also be the risk of that 10 of Wands. So that's it. Just want to bring that back to you. All right. Namaste.